Hello and welcome to Caucasian Journal video interviews. Today we are delighted to greet our old friend Arnold STEPANIAN, chairman of the public movement Multinational Georgia. Dear Arnold, if I'm correct, this year your movement celebrates its 25th anniversary. Is that right? Congratulations.
Sure. Right. Thanks a lot.
The formation of the nonprofit sector of Georgia from inside and out, thanks to your long career in this sector. How would you comment on the evolution of the nonprofit sector and the situation where it is now? Or maybe you would like to talk about the broader political situation and the picture of civil society. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, it's huge development of civil society. I think we're one of the countries in the region, in the broadly region, let's say, not South Caucasus only, where NGOs are decision makers in reality. And that's very important because mostly in NGO sector, let's say, there are people who are quite creative, who are quite active, motivated, values oriented, and that's very important for the development of society, or for the development of the country. Yes, there are some troubles. We see that government trying to change the situation and create some distance between decision-making process and civil society. But yeah, I mean, just it's well, I hope in November we'll have some positive developments, and I think we'll still be able to participate very actively in society life, in a country life, and still we'll be able to monitor government's activity and give them recommendations, and very important, just to push them implement that.
So you are optimistic, which is very, very good to hear. I'm also optimistic, by the way. Let's perhaps talk about your movement, which is an umbrella organization for many nonprofit groups. How do you feel as the organization's leader at the moment? And what do you hear from your member groups, from other leaders?
Mm-hmm. So mostly the members of the movement are the communities or community representatives who are working very, just on specific issues. Mostly it's preserving the culture, protecting community representatives' rights. And the idea was to collect all of them and to try to lobby our rights, let's say. It's very difficult because still society is not ready accept us as equal citizens. It's very unfortunately, but yeah, I mean that's we can speak about one side is conservative or just very conservative part of society who is not ready to do that. But second one is the liberal part of society who unfortunately don't understand our problems and don't understand the needs. Let's say that we have to protect our rights and preserve our cultures and be equal citizens, not only because of constitution, but in reality. And just we are between these parts of society and trying to lobby the issues, which is, just as I told you, very specific from the prisma of majority. It's good, very difficult job, very difficult job. But anyway, I can speak about some developments in this direction and some regress too, of course, if we're speaking about political participation. Of course, it's regress. I mean, if you look to the parliament, for example, and you can see that it's huge regress from 25 MPs 30 years ago, we have now 5, I think, yeah, and it's 5 times less. Also, in the executive government, you can't find any minorities representatives. What's about development? That's, for example, the level of the understanding of Georgian language in the regions is highest. That was 30 years ago, which is very good. The level of the integration to the social economic life is higher, especially in the regions, because in Tbilisi, more or less, it was always okay. And still there are some other specific problems, like just preservation of cultural and religious heritage. We still have, this ethnocentristic approach toward that, and the huge role. It's not right to speak only about government. Government is main decision maker, of course, but just Georgian Orthodox Church, which is quite conservative, they're playing huge role in that too. And they're against to give to minorities possibilities to develop their religious rights, for example.
What are the reasons about this? The reasons of this regress, which you mentioned, this insufficient representation in the parliament, for instance, is it perhaps the lack of political activity from the minority groups or something else?
Oh, we can speak about many reasons. Let's say it's not only one. Of course, one of them is that the government, unfortunately, all governments, I'm not speaking about only GD government now, but all governments was not ready to include minorities to the lists. Opposition, or just we can say they don't want to include minorities to the list, so give them some preferences. Opposition, small political parties, they can't do that because have no sources and just to pay attention to this specific line, let's say. Also have very few contacts in minority regions, don't understand the problematic, have some stereotypes that minorities always are voting for the ruling party. In the regions, mostly it's like that, but because of opposition is not active, because people are not integrated well, they don't care, they really don't care, just who will be in the government, because they even don't know what's happening in Tbilisi. They're living still in informational space of other countries, let's say. So why using of administrative resources is more easier for the government there in the regions of minorities. So why to mobilize the population, go to vote for them, it's more easier because, as I told you, they don't care who will win. So why, to speak about speak with them on the language of chantage, let's say, it's easier to say that just if will not be in the power, it will be war. All governments are using that, starting from Shevardnadze, let's say, and they are only one garant of stability in a country. For minorities, it's very important, I would say, because you can see that in the regions, Russia is using minorities as a reason for intervention or as a reason of some geopolitical changes. And of course, that's very understandable, and minorities trying to be to vote for those parties who are guaranteeing them stability. In fact, are they doing that or not? Just the political forces. That's the question.
I see. So how do you see the future of the country and your organization in particular? Of course, it's hard to predict at the moment, but I'm sure you have some vision.
Everything is depending now on the result of elections. It's not right from my side to speak about prognosis, but we can speak about two researches which we have. I mean, one research is showing us that GD will take less than 50%. Second research is showing us that GD will take more than 50%, let's say. Starting from the first, if opposition will be complete majority in the parliament, that's mean that we're returning to the European way. And I think everything will be okay. In the second part, if GD will takes majority, and I can say that they have this sources to be in majority. Because just if they will use actively administrative resource, if they will use actively support of minorities, let's say, the possibility be somewhere near 45, maybe something like this. And also, if they will do some other things, I mean that's theoretically, of course, they can be in majority, but that's mean that just we will have as a minimum 1 year, before next local elections, very active fight. Let's say, because civil society is against, majority of population of Georgia is against the changing discourse. And I can't even imagine who is, I'm excluding, of course, it's Georgian March and some pro-Russian guys, who can elect or who can just choose the Russian way instead the European way. It's not understandable for me, and even can't imagine, just reasons, what can be reasons to do that. But the case is especially in the rural areas, nobody is speaking that somebody want to improve relations with Russia and choosing Russian way. Even you can see the slogans, if you can see these emblems different, that's used. They're using European Union stars, let's say, and flag in that. So nobody is speaking with population that somebody is changing the geopolitically just vector from the west to the north. So I think it can be, for now, it can bring some disorientation in rural areas, and so it's smart, but it's for the country it's very bad. And of course, very important, in my opinion, is local elections in 1 year. So very important is because in the big cities we have population which is more educated, let's say, because more possibilities for that, which is well informed about politics. And of course, just those parties who are speaking about European way, Western way, they have more chances, just to receive the votes, let's say. And that's that. It will be really very interesting elections after 1 year. So we have our program for 1 year, and of course we will do our best. And yeah, I think just also civil society have to understand that life is not finishing. If we'll have in end of October the results which just some of us don't like, or all of us don't like, let's say. But life is not finishing, the fight is not finishing. That's the plan B, let's say. And of course, we'll fight for our values, to protect our values.
But you do not exclude the possibility of street protests and such things.
No, if people see that they did not vote for somebody, but somebody win, of course. The second one, if especially young people, they even don't understand just what's this pro-Russian course mean. They don't want to live in Russia or just in a country which is pro-Russian. They even are not traveling to Russia as a tourist because they don't interested in that. They don't understand how you can have some friendly relations with a country who are occupying your territories and who destroyed your cities and killed your population and have the war. And I mean, of course they will have the questions. And of course they will express their views in different manners. The question is just how to keep stability, how to keep development, and how to not burn all bridges. Because I think that the European Union, United States, they have to keep the bridges anyway, because as I told, life is not finishing. And for sure, I think, I mean, the real situation between, I mean, just GD and whole opposition, it's approximately 50-50, let's say. It's approximately. Anyway, who will win? I mean, just second one, I mean, will have approximately half MPs, half part of parliament. So that's not mean that somebody can do the things which they can do if they are 90%, if they have 90% support. But if you're 50, that's mean that as a minimum half part of population of Georgia is not supporting you. And such things like changing of the vector, it's I mean you need to have 19%. Also, we can say that maybe I can't imagine, but anyway, I mean that's possible. If one of the party will take something like 45%, for example, and create coalition with some oppositional parties, let's say, that's, I think it's middle solution for us, because I'm sure that this Russian law will stop. Also, we have the chances to keep stable development with the European Union, and they are the things we can manage, let's say. We can improve, let's say, the things which they did during last months. So coalition with opposition is, I think, one of the solutions. One of the solutions.
I also hope that the opposition can make stronger coalitions and be more united.
Yeah, I mean that's a scenario, of course, but we know the opposition is different people who can't agree on different things. It's normal, but it's not useful now. It's natural, let's say. Maybe it's not normal for this moment, but it's natural. Let's say when the people have different opinions, even they can agree on about one. I mean, just what's I mean, internet. I mean, Western orientation, but can't agree on very technical things. And so why? I mean, just they can have they will disagree on different issues and will not, I mean, just create the common coalition. But anyway, I mean, the solution for Georgia is if nobody will take not more than 50%, and they will have to create coalition.
So all your organizations, member organizations, are involved in monitoring, or many of them?
Yeah, I can speak about the 3 organizations who are monitoring elections, plus I know there are coalition who have many people, but I don't know about the methodology of the new coalition who is monitoring elections, so I can't speak about that. But I know well about monitoring methodology of, for example, Gaila, Young Lawyers, and ISVET, with very good methodology, let's say, and just they're monitoring very, very good quality of monitoring, let's say, in the whole territory of Georgia. So I think, and of course we were monitoring in minority regions. So I think we will manage to show the real picture of what's happening on the day to civil society, to our international partners, etc.
Well, can you assess the probability of a possible fraud or manipulations
On the day?
during election?
For now, so for now, I can say that it's using of administrative resource. That's what we can see in the majority of the municipalities. We are monitoring in 21 municipalities, and I think something around 18 municipalities we fixed using of administrative resources. Like, I mean, just pressure on the teachers, for example, like buying the voters, like mobilizing the business representatives. But on the same time, I can say nothing new is happening.
Which oppositional party is working towards the minorities, includes minorities in its platform, which pays attention to the problems of
UNM is
minorities?
working. UNM is working, but UNM is working traditionally because they were in the government and they have their contacts and their the people are more informed about UNM, and so they have possibility to work more actively. Former Prime Minister Party Gahari is working in Samsuchavaheti, actively than Kvemukatli. Lelo is trying to work mostly in Kvemukatli than in Samsuchavaheti, but they're working in both. Not so active, but anyway. And Guarami's party is active mostly in Kvemukatli than in Samsuchavaheti, but anyway, in Samsuchavaheti they did some accent on the farmer structure of the UNM, and so they have possibility to achieve some result. But I mean, just it's not enough to achieve significant results, let's say. It's just my prognosis, what I'm looking. I mean, because everything is depending how active you are and just how you're working, how you're going to the population, how visible you are, let's say, what population know about you. Even I mean, just their clans and just are clans cooperating with you or not. It's not good practice, let's say, of course. And by the way, not all of parties using the clans in their activities, which is good. We have to change this situation in the regions.
Right. Well, I just wanted to go back to your long-term involvement in Georgian politics and social life, and maybe ask for your very personal perspective. If I were to ask you to summarize the current state of mind in 3 words, what words would you choose?
I feel that first of all, the guarantees that everything will be okay, it's young people. I mean, just I see how their eyes are burning when they're speaking about values. I have 3 kids too, can see the same. I know their friends too. I know some others, many other young people, and it's impossible to push them to go to the dictatorship. They will not live under dictatorship. They are our garant, and they will build their future for sure. And they know how to do that. That's the hope which I have, and that's so why I think that it's no chance, let's say, to change our orientation. Maybe we'll have the problem some years, 1, 2, maybe 3, I don't know, but in the long term, no, it's impossible. I think it's the main thing, and just it's this main thing. I think it's enough to say we have hope, still have hope, and it will be like this. And I'm very glad we have such generation in a country.
I completely agree. I have the same feeling and the hope for the young people. And let's see, and let's stay optimistic. Thank you very much. But if you want to add anything, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean that's I think we spoke about the main things, and we are now in the process of checking this some cases we have already on pre-electoral period, And I want to thank you for your interest. And if we can continue, I mean, just in the days near the elections, I think we can have some more cases and we can speak about our reports, which we have on pre-election period. And of course, be in touch on E-Day. Be in touch on E-Day because we'll have more than 300 observers and we can share this information with you.
Agreed, Arnold. Thank you very much. And of course, you are welcome anytime at Caucasian Journal. Thank you very much. And good luck.
Thank you. And you too.
We cover what matters. Caucasian Journal.